Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is scheduled for one fall. Dude, I'm not reading the rest of this. You don't even pay me. Just click your button, start the show.
Welcome to another episode of the Gimmick Table. I'm your host, Matthew. I am joined by Joe.
My name is Joe.
That's all I was actually going to say, but I understand why you were a little concerned. Second episode of our launch, episode number 2. Before we get into our guest today, we want to give a thank you to a couple people. First of all, Advantage Media Solutions. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all your help and advice that you have given us over the last few weeks as we've gotten ready for our launch. Also, Tapped Out, podcastnetwork.com. You guys, your advice you've given us as well, kind of leading us in the right direction. We really appreciate that. Single Leg Takedown Wrestling.com. They will be featuring the Gimmick Table on their website to help us out, as well as ThatWrestlingClub.com. And speaking of ThatWrestlingClub.com, Joe, we are working with them, and our second launch prize that we'll be giving out through the first month of our broadcast is going to be a heavyweight box from their club. And basically what that is, it's a monthly subscription site for great wrestling memorabilia. You're going to get autographs, which are authentic, t-shirts that are authentic. Authentic.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Way?
And dude, to enter our wonderful contest, you just need to go on over to gimmicktablepod.com. You can listen to all our episodes over there, as well as on iTunes, Stitcher, all those wonderful places.
So you're telling me all I have to do is go over to the Gimmick Table at what?
Gimmicktablepod.com.
Gimmicktablepod.com.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have to do.
That's all you have to do is hit the enter button and listen to what the contest tells you to do. Simple. A monkey can do it.
Huh. Maybe I'll have my monkey do it.
It's a little too small. Anyways, I know that made you mad.
Have you ever met my monkey?
Not yet, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, so I know sometimes, Joe, you want to put me through a table, and
I think about it every second of the day, Matt.
If you haven't paid attention to Twitter, 10,000 total downloads for all episodes, not just one episode, is going to get me put through a table. And if you listen long enough, you're probably going to want me to go through a table. And
I've been inhaling Pine Sol every night.
That's probably not
getting ready for this.
That's probably not good for your health, dude.
Oh, but I'm obsessed.
But you're not the one that gets to do it. See, our guest today is going to get to do it. And
I don't give a fuck. I'll live vicariously through this, dude.
Well, you're going to have to. Our guest today is a good friend of the show. We're really happy to have him on here. Hailing from
the man that is going to help me live my dream home someday.
Well, his motto is, you don't want these hands. And I'm kind of, from watching some of his matches, I kind of am a little worried that I agreed to allow this to happen. But I'm a man of my word, so it's going to happen. So please,
you're a bitch of your word.
Well, I'm going to do it, so that makes me a man of my word. And our guest today, the man that will put me through a table at 10,000 downloads, Teck Tonik. How you doing today?
What's up, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. I know you're excited to put me through a table.
I really am.
I'm going to have to, I hope it takes a good couple months because I think my frame's got to put on a little weight before I go through a table.
I don't know how the fuck you're going to
do that if you don't have me. You'll go through.
I know I'll go through. I just want to come out in one piece. And I've seen how you suplex people and ouch.
Yeah, I make it look pretty easy.
You definitely do. You hail from Portland, Oregon, sir?
I do.
Right.
I was born in Wyoming now.
All right. So how did you end up in Portland?
My mom likes to travel, and she basically decided Portland was a better place. It was more opportunity for her and more chances to go to schools and better schools for me and my other brother.
Well, speaking of schools, man, OSU or OU?
I'm currently sitting on my Ducks blanket, so that should answer.
All right.
I'm a huge Mariota fan.
Nice.
Hoping he does something for the Titans.
I was kind of hoping he'd go to Cleveland so they'd have a reason to play football.
Ooh,
I
Cleveland.
don't know, man. They're making big statements on ESPN and stuff.
Yeah, they're trying to. They're doing the analytics of what they did out in Oakland. They're trying to do that.
Well, do what you got to do, I guess.
I mean, it's got to happen sometime for him, I guess, right?
Maybe. I mean, probably not.
I mean, one can hope.
I think the city sold their soul for the Cavaliers, so they might be out of.
They did.
They might be out of championships for a while, at least for another decade, or 30, 40, 50. I don't know.
Speaking of out of championships, nice Jets or Giants jersey.
Thank you. I wore it just because I know how much you love them.
Man, when are you coming to do this? Let's cut that down to 5,000 followers.
Nope. 10,000 downloads, not followers.
5,000?
10,000.
I tell you what, 5,000. I'll fly his ass out here, and then he can put you through 2.
Well, no.
Yeah.
10,000.
Like we'll get on top of a ladder through 2 tables.
Okay.
Top one's on fire.
All right. I'm pretty sure we could we could sit here and scheme all night about how many downloads is going to get me put through how many tables. So I'll put it right here, right now. 10,000 downloads, 1 table. 15,000 downloads, 2 tables off a ladder.
Fair enough. Can the top one be on fire though?
30,000 downloads. I will let an entire audience throw chairs into the ring like they did back in ECW.
Oh, man.
Cool.
I just want like a full
Deal.
suit of armor. That actually might make it worse. Wearing
It
chainmail.
might. That's a lot of noise.
Ow!
Jeez.
I'm not gonna look the same after this. I will no longer be able to be the hipster heel. I'm gonna be the hipster elephant man because I'm gonna have my face is gonna be swollen. Tell us how you were influenced to become a professional wrestler growing up and as you got older.
I guess I really liked guys that weren't main roster kind of guys, I guess. Like, I liked more the underdog kind of guys, guys that were not always on TV. And oddly enough, guys that got just thrown around all over the place. Because to me, those guys were the important ones. And I'd actually focus more on them.
The workers. So name a couple for us. Who are the guys that you really like to watch growing up?
Oh, growing up. Well, like, guys that I actually paid attention to when I was growing up, not the workers.
Yeah, just in general, like who you watch as a child, kind of, and like you were like, I would like, and you looked at them and you're like, I'd like to be like them. You ever have that?
Oh, yeah, I had a couple of those. Like, I watched since I was like 5, but then I was just a fan, and I wanted to be like Kane. You know, everyone wants to be the big, crazy looking people. Kane and Sting, all them guys. Getting past that and actually thinking this would be kind of fun to do, I started paying attention to more people that were like the technical gods, like Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko, Taz, just guys like that guys that just handled people and could embarrass them, even the Charlie Haas's. Just all these guys that just had such insane wrestling technical backgrounds. But also, again, the kind of more bigger guys that were still able to put people down. So I liked watching Rikishi and the Big Boss Man, things like that. Even his even Umaga, more recent guys, but yeah.
Samoan Death Spike.
So, so there's a spectrum there. You got the big bruisers and you got the technicians. When did you start your training to be a wrestler?
I mean, like most people, you go down different paths. Like, I didn't do professional for a while. Like, I was actually doing like the backyard scene for a while. While I did pick up a lot of bad habits, it actually formed my attitude and my thoughts on I could actually do this. So when I actually started training correctly was just last year, like just over a year ago. And that was out here at the NWA BCW. It's Blue Collar Wrestling in St. John's.
And how long did you do the backyard stuff?
Like 12 years.
So you started that when you were like 16, 17?
Yeah.
So like you're talking like the stuff that we watch on YouTube, like just to gross ourselves out, kind of wrestling.
No,
No?
actually, like we didn't do light tube matches and light tables on fires and wrap baseball bats with barbed wire. We actually like tried to do like shows.
Okay.
Like we had a ring. We had a real legit 20 by 20 ring.
Oh,
It wasn't just pads on the floor. What we started there for a while, but then got a real full size ring from Texas. Flair bumped in it. I mean, it had lineage. It was their training ring.
Nice.
But I mean, none of us were trained.
Right.
We had like one or two guys that worked at a real promotion, but the training was fairly limited. Mostly ring crew and like, hey, you want to take some bumps real quick, kid, kind of stuff.
So it was basically you have the blind leading the blind almost in this situation, kind of just winging it.
For the most part, yeah. Well, I mean, not for the most part. Yes, because I mean, you can only learn so much from YouTube and practicing, but even then, it's not really the right way or the real deal.
Right. So how do you end up in blue collar wrestling? How do you go from backyard wrestling to working with an actual promotion?
I kind of got an attitude, really. I would go to shows around here because we don't just have one or two. We have quite a few actually. There's one in Salem actually that Gangrel's a part of and Matt Stryker's a part of.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we got names, but traveling for me at the time was a bit of an issue. But I did go to a couple there. So I tried to stay local, but I'd go to some shows, I'd see my friends wrestle, I'd go to a different show, watch my friends wrestle over there, and I'd watch the other guys, and I'd pay attention to them, and at one point I was like, I can take everything that I know, see if I can turn that into gold, and then probably do a much better job than most of these guys. That was my attitude. And that's being honest, is that I looked at a lot of guys and thought, I can do this so much better.
And you almost have to have that attitude. You have to be your biggest supporter. You have to be your biggest fan to succeed in anything. So
yes, very true.
So there's the attitude. How did you contact the guys running the promotion to get involved with them? Who did you start training with?
Well, actually, at one point, even doing the backyard scene, I was contacted by a guy, and his name stayed with me, but I never went out to him because I didn't want to have to pay for training. You know, I was one of those guys. I didn't want to have to pay for this, blah 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 blah. And then you swallow your pride, really, because you see what these guys are doing, and you see what you're doing. It's like which one do you really want to do? These guys have fans and lights and recordings and all that stuff. You've got someone holding a camera phone. It's not nearly as exciting. Right. So I took the friends that I had that I knew were wrestling and were doing things. They were doing what I wanted to do, and I just talked to them like, hey, what do I need to do? Like, how can I get in this? And they'd point me in the right direction, show up to training, show up here, and we'll see what we can do. We'll run you through some stuff. We'll teach you some basics. And then from there, just blossomed.
So really, your friends were your first trainers?
Elaborate.
You like to consider yourself more of a self-taught person, don't you?
No.
No?
Originally, sure. But I mean, the friends that I had that were wrestling were like at promotions. Like they were professional.
Gotcha.
I went to them. They pointed me to the right people.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I get what you're saying now.
I think that's where I got mixed up too.
You know how we roll. We did this last night for fun.
Yeah.
So, like, how much time did you have, like, once you started actually wrestling for BCW, between, like, your actual debut and, like, when you started training? Like, how long was that time gap?
Let me think. I want to say about 8 or 9 months.
So describe us kind of, okay, so you have your first match, you've done the backyard wrestling, then you have your first match with a real promotion. Describe the difference first. Do you think you were less nervous because of the experience you had kind of is doing the self-made stuff, opposed to somebody who's legitimately their first time ever inside a ring outside of training?
I'd like to think I definitely had an upper hand because I was already used to being in front of people. But now, with all the I had to change literally everything that I thought I knew because I did everything backwards completely. So I had to change everything about what I thought was right, how I did things. So while I still kept being comfortable in front of people, it was still a little nerve-wracking. It's like, well, these guys have been training me for X amount of time now. I can't let them down and look like a yarder again because I don't want to hit panic mode and like revert to old behavior. But I had my first match, and it was actually really successful. I mean, I had an issue with tunnel vision for sure because I got nervous and I got stuck thinking, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to hurt the other guy. I just need to make sure that I'm responding the correct ways, and we finish this match.
So kind of elaborate onto us who Tectonic is. What is your gimmick?
Well, I got I wear my varsity jacket, got the name on the back. I even come out with like the old school towel around the neck. A lot of how I hold myself, even down to what I do, is a tribute to like older style wrestling. But the gimmick itself, so Tectonic, is a play on words. And if you're a good nerd, you paid attention in school, you'd know that tectonics are plates, the tectonic plates.
Yes, sir. I was there for Earth Science.
I watched Pacific Rim. I know what the tectonic plates are.
I saw San Andreas with The Rock. Excuse me. Does that mean?
Or you could have watched the Magic School Bus.
You could have. Well, I was actually going to say.
Oh, damn, that's going way back, man.
If you're Tectonic, does that mean you guest starred with The Rock in San Andreas? Were you the villain of that movie?
Ooh.
What sucks is that when I picked that name as a professional name, the movie Keanu had just come out as a Key and Peele movie, and his gangster name is Tectonic. And everyone thought that I took that from that, and I was like, no way, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Damn, the timing is everything.
But regardless of the timing, I mean, that's what comes to people's mind, opposed to something everybody who's alive and went through school should know and understand.
Maybe.
Well, we can hope.
So far, well, I'll keep going on that. So with the name Tectonic, I hold myself rather proudly, and since I do hail from Gillette, Wyoming, it's more of a farm place. I lived in Nebraska. I lived on a farm for a while. I got the farm boy body. I look like all I've ever done is played football, baled hay, and wrestled around with everybody. So, like, with the Tectonic, I got the jacket, the varsity jacket. All I know, essentially, is how to succeed further than the rest, even when it comes to my peers. I got the jock mentality because I know what it means to be better than other people. A lot of guys think, oh, man, he's built Ford tough. He's built like a Mack truck. Well, it's because I kind of am. I'm not a small man. I'm not Samoan either, but I get confused with it a lot because I'm just so big.
I mean, I don't...
So I use it to my advantage.
Right. I don't want to meet you down a dark alley all by myself. No. I mean, no. And as long as I can run. I think I could outrun you, but... I mean,
I don't know about that.
Uh-oh, that might be a challenge. So we might have to do that.
That's
you could catch him, dude.
Too. We might have to have a race now. We're going to have a race. And if you win, you can put me through another table.
I don't know, Matt, but
that's the other thing too. Is like when I mentioned being varsity all the time. That was another one. Even soccer, I played soccer. I was captain. Football, I was in charge. Basketball, I was in charge. I even did like volleyball, and I tried wall ball. I couldn't figure out wall ball though.
I miss wall ball.
I couldn't figure that out.
Great game. I love pegging people in the head.
Other than Matt being a little bit faster just because of scared speed, you could definitely catch him.
Oh, my adrenaline will be running. Like
You run fast when you're scared.
I see a guy that size down a dark alley, and I am just like, I'm running faster than Usain Bolt on crack.
When you're just down there and all you hear is me saying, "You don't want these hands." I would run too.
Can you not whisper it like that? Because
No, I've done that in the ring before.
what's the reaction to that?
Well, when I come out, so I come out to a song that I made, and I have it pause intentionally, so I can yell because I'm very loud. I yell, "You don't want these hands," and then the beat drops right there after I say that. I've said it in the ring before, and guys either just like crumble or they try to fire back, and it doesn't usually work out too well for them.
I just want to let you know that when you said drop the beat, our sound guy got a huge smile on his face. I think you just made his night. I told him you do beats too, and that made him really excited.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun. FL Studios.
Oh, that was my OG program.
I don't know. You heard him. Oh, Cade is on the podcast this time. All right.
I'm on the Logic Pro.
He's speaking from the back.
We have him in a corner, in a closet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get the fuck back in there, kid!
Please, nobody listening, call the police on this. He's not really in a closet. It's more like a cell.
Well, he's crouched on the ground with a basket on top of him.
The door's open. The leash is short.
Little kid jail.
Exactly. The door's open. The leash is short. Short.
You ruined it.
I pulled a Seth Rollins there.
Short. Yeah, I love it when he does that.
So kind of go through us. What are your favorite moves to use? Some of those signature moves we'll see when we're watching your matches.
I'm really big on front face locks, also known as front chanceries, because I love mixing collegiate wrestling into pro wrestling. Because just like in MMA or any kind of UFC, I strongly believe that a wrestling background will beat, or at least be extremely cumbersome to any other style of fighting.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, thank you. I am a firm believer on that, and I've done it. I've even done it where I've been putting guys through holds. Like I go from a front face lock, I'll do the whole spin around and pretend like I'm getting points on top of the guy, roll him over half Nelson, a fireman carry, and the guys just give me this look like I don't know what's happening right now, but the crowd's blowing up because I'm embarrassing this guy.
And nobody understands technical wrestling anymore.
Exactly. So your question. So a lot of the times I'll work the front face lock straight to the ground. Like I'll use a wrestling sprawl even from a basic lockup. I'll try to trap the arm and push their head down straight into the front face lock. And then from there, I'll just slide my feet backwards and I will make them go to the ground. From there, I love to gator roll people.
You do. That's my favorite thing you do, by the way.
I love it. It disorients people so much, and it's the best. That's got to be, besides hitting any suplex you can think of, which is my favorite. Like I had a guy. He was trying to break me down, so he was always kicking my shoulders, and then he started trying to work low, so he started kicking my calf, then my thighs, then my sides. But when he started kicking my sides, I grabbed his leg, pulled him in, instantly exploder T-bone suplex. Like, you can hit me, but I'm going to find a way to throw you. Hence, you don't want these hands. If I touch you, you're going to go to the ground. You're either going to go through the air, flying, or I'm going to slam you to the ground. It also works well with my finish, which is it's the JBL really deep lariat. I got my lariat from Stan Hansen, if you want to go back.
Oh.
And he's that Texas Southpaw style.
I mean, he's fucking famous for knocking Vader's eye out of socket.
I just replayed that in my head.
I just watched that
like
match
that?
like 2 weeks ago.
That Taco Bell really is not sitting well now.
Hold on, my eye fell out. Hold on, Stan. I'm gonna put this back in real quick.
And then I'm gonna continue to wrestle.
Right? Terrible. But like that, a lot of that's why I'm saying a lot of what I do is just a huge thank you or big tribute to older wrestling. Like that's my way of thanking them, keeping wrestling alive. Like I started doing like this little random campaign on Twitter, and I just thought it was for fun. But now I'm actually starting to like really get into it, and I'll sometimes hashtag make wrestling great again. So now I'm dead set on always incorporating lots of chain and lots of collegiate wrestling, like catch wrestling, like Billy Robinson. I watched a ton of his stuff because he's a legend. Like you don't want to mix it up with him at all, ever. He'll break something and he won't apologize for it. Even as an old man, he will not apologize. But like the groundwork I do, like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I have a combo that I've hit many times before where either I'll whip the guy off or he'll be coming at me and I'll Arn Anderson spinebuster them. Boom. As I'm coming back up, I'll hook the legs and set them up for the Dean Malenko Texas Cloverleaf. But before I do that, I exploit their bendiness, if you will, or their lack of being flexible. But instead of just rolling them over, I'll hook the Texas Cloverleaf and I'll stand straight up. So at that point, I'm basically dragging them on their head, and I'll walk them around the ring, and then I'll sit down.
Nice.
That's
Very
another
nice.
one to do.
So you just want to hurt people,
I like to put people in very uncomfortable positions.
like the back of a Volkswagen.
Yes, precisely.
I hope everybody in this room got that reference. Mallrats. I hope you people have seen Mallrats.
Dude, I'm busy staring at my fucking sign.
Oh, your sign. Oh.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the sailboat.
Oh, the sailboat. Oh, okay. What?
Dude,
Oh!
that's fucking Mallrats.
Schooner! It's a schooner! No, it's a sailboat. A schooner is a sailboat. The Easter Bunny is not real. Wow. I'm dumb sometimes. You got that old school mentality, in-ring technician. How do you keep innovating match after match so you're not constantly doing the same thing over and over again? How do you stay fresh for the fans?
I like to change because I know not everyone likes seeing the same thing. Not everyone likes watching 50,000 hardcore matches. Not everyone likes watching top rope high fly. Not everyone likes watching chain. I can be diverse. Like we mentioned earlier, even though I'm a kind of a bigger guy, I can still move pretty damn fast, and it's kind of freaky. So not always will I stick to I'm just going to do chain and then I'm going to slam you. I can get on the top and I can comfortably jump off the top, and I'm not afraid to do that. I can mix it up and do hardcore. I can do the striking and all that kind of fun stuff. Like I don't always stick to my normal routine. And on top of that, I'm always studying all the time. Like I was just watching a lot of older Portland wrestling stuff, and before that I was watching a lot of Florida, Georgia stuff. So I'll mix up my styles, add a little bit of their flair, add a little bit of their flair here, and just try to see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I'll work on it. But if it does, then sweet. I did something different.
And with that said, how would you say like Georgia style differs from Portland style?
Man, I want to say
I'm asking the tough ones tonight.
Yeah, you are. Ooh. I mean, they both had the real tough, I'm going to knock your face off at any given chance. But I got to give the Southern guys, like, their promos were on fire, man. That's, if anything, I'd have to give them the upper hand on just the way they talked.
It's that country twang.
It might even be that, but the way that they got the crowds to they were just eating out of the palms of their hands. They weren't even doing anything, just talking. Like they weren't even wrestling yet. I think Portland wrestling definitely did that, but those guys, I mean, I don't know.
It's almost, I mean, like, I don't know. I've met a couple Southern people, and those motherfuckers can just talk for hours, it seems like, anyway. So I can't imagine if you stick a microphone and a camera in front of them.
And if you get a group of them together.
Flash and flare. Ooh, yeah.
They like to rally.
Yeah. Storytelling.
Yeah. And I think it was because, like, Like he had Piper, who just loved to run his mouth.
Yeah.
Run your mouth, run your mouth, run your mouth. But you get the Georgia guys, they're to the point. They don't want to waste time. They want to get in and mix it up. Piper was all head games, and if that didn't work, he'd bash your head games in. So it's I don't know, it's hard. Like they all had such great overwhelming qualities.
Larger than life almost.
Yeah, easily.
So you used to be a heel, which heels are wonderful. They're the greatest thing ever in wrestling. Now you're kind of becoming a face. Tell us about that. What's the differences?
Ooh, I mean, I love being the bad guy because I could just impose my will. Like my favorite thing to do was catch guys off guard. So anytime they're like, even when the ref's like checking him or the guy's taking off his jacket or he's doing something, I will bum rush the crap out of someone because I can. It's that simple. I can. I have the opportunity. Why would I waste an opportunity? A perfectly good opportunity. But as I'm doing this transition, mentally, I'd like there to be a legit challenge. So I don't feel like I need an upper hand. I'd rather it be an actual fight. Like you stepped in the ring with me, so you need to be my challenge. I need to get better. Make me a better wrestler. And if they choose to get dirty, well then we're just gonna have to take it to the ground, and that's the last place you want to go, especially with me.
How are you as a face? How has it been hard to turn to a face?
I think the crowds have a hard time with it because they're so used to me being just an ass. Because I don't stop talking. Like I would always pick 3 or 4 people in the audience and just hound them the entire night. I wouldn't leave them alone. And as a face, I don't feel the need to do that anymore. I'd rather them rally behind me because it doesn't make sense to to piss off the people that you want the other guy to not like. They need to not like him. And especially as a champ, because I am still the NWA Heritage Champion, I need more people to support that. Because if they support that, that means I can take the belt elsewhere. Because it's not just a local thing. It can go anywhere as long as it's an NWA-affiliated company. So if I have help with them, then shoot. Then yeah. But yeah, it's been a struggle because there's sometimes they're still not sure if they should be cheering what I'm doing or if I do have hidden motives or if I'm just doing this to do it. Like that match that you'd watched, the triple threat tag team with the Stoner Brothers.
Yeah, when you
that was a perfect example because I was just making that, so a lot of people didn't really know how to feel, especially because I was tagging with someone who was not my partner. My partner was outside during the whole time.
And you did you were a little heelish at the end, just kind of sliding out of the ropes and not even worrying about your buddy
leaving
there
my
getting the
partner
pin.
High and dry.
Yeah. That's not very face of you, but I appreciate it.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Heels are the best. Heels. I've told Joe this. If I had a wrestling promotion, I would only allow heels in it. And he's like, oh, well, heels can't fight other heels. I'm like, why wouldn't heels fight other heels? They don't like each other. But this is why I talk into a microphone and not run a wrestling promotion, because this is way easier.
It's tough because you want to make the good choice, but sometimes it's easier to just not and just do things your own way. Go off the course.
Exactly. Like you said, it's probably a lot easier to be a heel than it is a face, because easy to make somebody hate you. It's harder to make a whole group of people like you and cheer for you.
Yeah, I think that's been the hardest part about it is getting the crowd to believe it, because sometimes they just don't care who you are regardless of where you go. And sometimes, people love you for no reason, or because the guy that you're going against, they already don't like. So they're going to cheer for you anyways.
Right. You could be a heel and it doesn't matter because they hate that guy more. Which
has worked before. I've gone places where I'm the heel and then I make it very clear that that's exactly who I am, but I'm cheered the entire time because the guy I'm going against they do not care about. Even then, I don't care. Like I'll tell him, I don't need your support. I don't need you to cheer for me. I'm not here for you. I'm here to beat the crap out of this guy.
But it doesn't matter because they're still going to cheer you because
I know, and they still cheered me. They're like, yeah, beat him up some more.
You should have just stopped wrestling. You should have pulled a Mick Foley in like ECW and just stopped wrestling completely. Or just put on the crappiest match ever. Be like, oh yeah, you like a meat, and just, drop to the ground and let the guy pay. That would have gotten you over as a heel raper. So what are some of the most, I believe it's a 3-time Heritage Champion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did my research.
New record.
Woo! Now, outside of the title reign, because you've kind of talked about, you and I have talked before about like how titles don't make the wrestler. Outside of the titles, what has been the most successful thing for you individually?
I mean, it's probably going to sound really cheesy.
Is that vegan cheese?
I mean, it's mac and cheese.
Even better.
Honestly, it's been finding myself and my voice. Not just showing up, having music, being dressed, and wrestling. Like, there's a reason why I'm out there. And I do it, I prove that reason every week, and I love it. I love that I can do it so flawlessly and so seamlessly now. And that was a huge success because for a long time I was really nervous, and I did have that really bad tunnel vision.
So
that was a major success for me.
So you go more or less from playing the part of a professional wrestler to actually being the professional wrestler. You want to do this, you're getting there, you're nervous, now you kind of see the big picture of everything and you're finding yourself in who you actually are, opposed to trying to figure out who you're going to be.
Yeah, because I realized my goal is not to fit in. My goal is to do my job. Like, I have goals. I want to go places. If that means I have to piss off a couple people or step on some toes or beat some guys that think they're the shit, then yeah, I'm going to do it. Because I have goals. I have things I want to get done. And I am comfortable doing that, being who I am. I don't need to change. I love it. Like, I have confidence in myself. Like, I don't doubt what I'm doing because I know what I'm doing is right. Because my trainers constantly tell me everything you're doing is right. Do not stop.
And it's got to be good to have that voice, outside of yourself, giving you that feedback. What struggles have you seen, though? Along with the success, obviously, all success has struggles that go hand in hand with it. What have some of those been, and how have you dealt with them?
Oh, I think one of the big ones is, again, it might sound cheesy or corny, but when you're doing this, you're obviously going to develop a lot of friendships. You're going to have a lot of guys that become family. You're going to start calling people brother because everyone trusts in each other. You really have to. If you don't trust someone, by default, your matches are going to be unsafe. And that's the last thing everyone wants. No one wants to get put on a shelf. Nobody. Or else we wouldn't do it. I've noticed, and it really sucks, but everyone's your friend until you start doing better than them or getting more recognition than them. They either start slowly not talking to you as much or maybe not giving you as much feedback about your matches when you ask them, hey, tell me how I did. How bad was it or something like, oh, just brush it off or anything like that. So, I mean, a lot of the struggles come with the success. Like, you've got two people telling you you're doing fantastic, don't stop. But now you're surrounded by people who no longer want you to be as successful because now they feel like they're being left behind. So while you're doing good, you got guys that are not doing as good. And for me, while I'm an absolute dick as a heel, I do have a soft spot, and I do care about my friends and how they're doing. And I don't want them to feel like they're different. Everyone's at a different rate. Some people get it. Some people get it. Sometimes it takes 2 tables and a ladder to figure it out. But I feel like that's the biggest one. That's the thing about an independent business. Not everyone's going to hold your hand, and not everyone's going to tell you, "Good job, kid. You're doing great." So if you have someone doing that, you better cherish the shit out of them.
Exactly, and I would think when they give you advice, this is where you need to work on, that's something you should take with the same, value to it. This is something this is feedback, I need to make these corrections, I need to do this correctly, because like you said earlier, you got to feel safe, you got to trust the people that you're working with.
Especially if they're credible, because I mean there are a lot of people that think they're important or that tell you that they are, but really they're not. They're either just a mark wrestler or they just want to sound like they're giving you good feedback.
That's like me giving you feedback.
I mean, all feedback is feedback. I mean, the one thing that my trainer likes that I can do is I'll take all feedback and I'll listen to it and I'll interpret it to however it can help benefit me. So if I have one guy telling me, "Hey, you look scared when you go to the top rope," or as opposed to another guy that says, you look so great and so confident when you go off the top. I'm going to take them both, and then I'm going to rewatch that, and then I'll decipher that for myself and see who's actually correct. And then I'll probably start going to that person who's actually correct. So I'll make my own decisions. That's part of the wrestling too. You take it or leave it, and it's tough because again, friends are friends until you're doing better than them. Sometimes that means you don't talk to some of those friends anymore because they're just blowing smoke or they're just saying stuff to make you think you're doing something wrong when you're not.
Comes down to being jealousy. They're not where you're at, and unfortunately,
or like if you're getting opportunities that they're not, or you're getting what's called high-profile matches, like they're bringing people in from out of town that you're wrestling and they're not. I mean, it might cause rifts.
Definitely seems like it's a dog-eat-dog world.
It is, but there's also a tremendous amount of support. It's just, it really is a matter of finding it and holding on to it. Like, I feel like that's what makes a lot of the big stables really successful. Like, if you look at the Elite and the Bullet Club and all them guys, big groups of guys that are just so ridiculously popular and more or less protected, and they're all really good friends.
You know, anybody needs that really in this day and age. Whatever business you're in or whatever you're doing, you got to have a core group of people that you can trust because it's your livelihood. Especially if you're trying to do something is out of the ordinary, you know, outside of a day job from 9 to 5.
When it requires money and transportation from 500 miles away to 2,000 miles away and it's a constant thing. You're constantly doing it. It helps when you've got people watching your back and making phone calls for you so you can actually sleep, you know, instead of canceling your stuff or telling people, oh, he's sick, when you're fine.
Since you've been in the business, what wrestlers have been most influential to you?
I got a few.
Well, I want to hear them.
A lot of guys that I wrestle with on a consistent basis, actually. One of them was my trainer. He had to move. He actually moved to Florida, and I'm really hopeful because, I mean, Florida's got big wrestling opportunities out there. Big opportunities. But he was my first trainer, and that's Aries Toretto. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I mean, he was trained by Beer City Bruiser, Shane Hills, and Jason Cash. I mean, dude is a scrapper. Roaring forearms for days, top rope double stomps. Like, all he knows is how to fight and kick. And I love that. And being with him for so long, he was actually the one that made me the most comfortable learning my place with wrestling because he brought me in as a role model because that was his group. He had his own stable and then brought me into it. So it helped me get my face out there consistently. Even when I wasn't wrestling, I was just out there and I was feeling things out and I'm feeling things out and I'm seeing things. I'm watching my guys interact with people. They do things. It was like watching a movie while watching a movie. Yeah, it was strange. So I had him, and my trainer after him took everything, and I literally mean everything that Aries had taught me, and he dipped it in a bucket of gold. And what you see before you was basically what came out. My trainer after Aries was Cameron Starr, also known as the Hawaiian Hot Sauce. He's from Hawaii.
I like the name.
And yeah, he's something else, man. I'm telling you right now. Again, with the technical wrestling, I think this is why I absolutely love him as my trainer, because he was trained by Buddy Rose and Colonel De Beers and Dory Funk and Sandy Barr. I mean, he's had just legends mold his mind.
Yeah, that's a who's who of
trainers
of wrestling knowledge right there, and just in-ring experience. That's awesome.
Even one of those guys was trained by Harley Race. I mean, I love watching Harley Race videos, but that's there. So like he took my already made wrestling ability with my collegiate style, and we just amped it up through the roof, like through the absolute roof. And he's the one that got me comfortable with like being so vocal and being so dominant in the ring, like not being afraid to show off. Because like he said, he told me, if you can't show people why you're in the ring, then you might as well just leave. You might as well just go out there and then instantly lay down. If you're not going to show people what we've been doing and what makes you you, then don't even go out there. So he gave me that go out there and just treat every match like it's going to be a 6-star match. And I love it. I love it. Having confidence in what I'm doing, knowing that what I'm doing is correct. I'm doing it right. I'm not doing it just for fun or because I'm here that night and I just happen to bring my gear bag with me or something like that. I'm doing it because I want to. I got one more. One more. And he's actually the one that one of the two actually that told me, "Hey, go train. Show up at this building and go train. Show up at Blue Collar Wrestling and train." And that's he was also in our group, and that was Kane Jaden, and he's making his name all over like the Pacific Northwest, even in California. He's up at 321 Battle. He's up at Defy. This is all Washington stuff. He's all over in Portland. He's in Salem. He's doing everything. Watching him because he's so young, just turned 18 not that long ago. His heart and his passion is so overflowing. Like I don't even know. It's watching him makes me want to do it so much more each and every time.
It's almost like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, because he's a reminder to me that everything we are doing is correct. Because even we've put on matches that just would steal shows all day long, and we just mesh really well. And he's like a quarter of my size.
Those matchups work best though, especially if two guys just have really good in-ring skill. The little guy versus the big guy. Plus, who doesn't love to watch that?
It's David versus Goliath.
Yeah, when the size game actually becomes an issue.
So speaking of that though, like, what is your favorite? What's your most favorite match that you've performed in?
Well, obviously it's biased, but it's gonna be the first two names I actually just mentioned. I've actually I wrestled against Cameron Starr first. It was my first ever teacher versus student match, and it was intense. We went 20 minutes nonstop, bell to bell. Like there were little to no breaks.
Nice.
Always doing something. And the match was so flawless and so intense. Like the crowd would either go ooh and ah, or they would sit in silence, and you could see everybody. Because this is actually one thing that I make a very, very, very prominent thing that I'm always paying attention to, is because of the day and age that we live in. When I come out, before I even yell, "You don't want these hands," I'm scouring the entire building, and I'm seeing who's on their phone. And my goal for that night is to get them off their damn phone. If you paid to show up and watch, I'm going to make sure you paid for the right reasons. Not to tell everyone on social media how much you hate being here or what are you making for dinner tonight. No, you're going to watch because that's what you're there for. And we did that for 20 straight minutes.
Awesome.
It was insane. And like to follow it up, it's equally tied with the match that I had with Aries Toretto, and that's the one that I had you guys watch second, in the 6-sided ring. Same thing. We worked a headlock for 7 minutes.
Yes, you did.
And 5 headlock takeovers. Each and every one of them got a pop, a huge response, because we played the big guy. It was storytelling. That's what we did. Storytelling at its finest. We didn't have to do top rope 5-star frog splashes or suicide dives or anything like that. We worked, and we worked the crowd, and that's exactly what we're supposed to do. And they were so simple. I walked away feeling great, knowing that everything I did was correct. Hearing their voices in each one. So when I was wrestling Cameron, I could hear Aries. When I was wrestling Aries, I could hear Cameron. You're doing everything right. Don't stop. You're doing it. You're doing it. What you guys are doing is correct. When I walk away like that, I know that I did something right. And I still get goosebumps even thinking about both of those matches. They were on fire.
I did enjoy watching them. Thank you for sharing those with us. So let's get into some fun here. So let's just before we get to the game, I do have a couple quick questions here. Just so best match of the year this year, any wrestling organization that you've seen, in your opinion,
that I've seen,
that you've watched as a fan from a fan perspective.
You're not talking like physically, right? Just in general, like on TV or aura that I've seen.
Anywhere.
I would probably say Pete Dunne beating Tyler Bate for the title.
Good choice.
That was a beautiful match.
Yeah, and it was. I'm not gonna lie. I teared up when Dunne beat him because I was like, that match was so damn good. And they've been fighting each other for months now.
I think Joe's like trying to make fun of you for getting emotional over wrestling over here. You're doing a little tear.
It's okay.
It's okay, man. You can
Wrestling's
cry.
Real, damn it.
You can cry on the gimmick table. It's cool.
He's definitely trying to palm what he's fucking doing over here on me. And it's making I'm sorry, dude. I'm taking it. I'm going to put him through this table.
No, he doesn't get to put me through the table.
I'm going to. I can't live through somebody else doing it. I have to.
No.
Yeah.
You haven't earned it yet.
The fuck, I haven't.
All right.
Just sit here and look at your fucking face.
First of all, I have a beautiful face. Okay. All right. Oh,
it was either going to be that or the Will Ospreay and King Ricochet match in Japan.
That was a good one.
Ooh. Then see, both of those matches are incredibly different. One is technical, straight up roughneck style, and the other is technical high fly.
Will Ospreay is just on a different level.
He is.
One of my favorite ones this year was him and Jay White at Ring of Honor. I think it was Ring of Honor.
I mean, Ricochet was in one of my most favorite matches ever with Johnny Mundo on Lucha Underground in the All Night Long match for the title.
Nice.
Oh my god. Go watch that any night of the week.
All right, so now we're going to play a game.
I'm going to make note of that, actually, to watch that.
We're going to play a game called Tables, Ladders, Chairs. We're going to give you 3 famous people, celebrities, politicians, dead, alive. Well, we want to know if you're going to put them through the table, if you're going to smash them with a chair shot to the head, because that's still allowed here at the Gimmick Table, or are you going to hit them with a goddamn ladder to the nuts? So, first we'll go JFK, Obama, and Ross Perot.
Well, the first one's kind of screwed up because he doesn't even have a head.
So you can't hit him with a chair, but you could definitely put his corpse through the table.
It's terrible.
Well, in this scenario, JFK is 100% alive because we have a time machine.
Oh my god. Well, what if I picked the chair just because I knew what was going to happen anyways?
You could say that you weren't going to hit him with the chair. You were stopping the bullet from hitting him. You saved JFK.
It might be the one time that we see somebody get hit in the head with a chair anymore.
So who gets the table?
For the Back to the Future, well, I'll go with that. I'll give him the chair.
As the bullet's about to hit him, bullet misses. JFK lives.
I'm deflecting it like Candice LeRae took the boot of nails to the face to save Joey Ryan. Jesus.
So who gets
watched yesterday again because I hate life.
torture yourself?
If you're ever having a bad day, just watch that and make yourself feel better.
Who gets the table? Who do we got left? We got Ross Perot and Obama.
Is the chair out of?
Well, yeah, you got it.
You can't reuse the.
You can't reuse the chair. That's back in 1967.
It's just like fuck one, marry one, kill one. You gotta
Gotcha.
fuck one, marry one, kill one. Table, ladder, chair.
We stumped.
Tough.
Sorry, dude. It's kind of tough for me too. I don't even know who this fucking Ross Perot is.
How do you not know who Ross Perot is?
Because I don't read the newspaper.
He's that billionaire that ran for president. The one that lost, though.
That happens every year. There's always a fucking billionaire or millionaire that loses the
Right,
election.
but Ross Perot had some pretty defining characteristics that made him funny to make fun of, and he used to walk around and be like, "I got $4 billion." I think you should hit him in the nuts with the chair or with the ladder, just so we don't have to hear.
Which is funny because that's what I was thinking.
Because I don't want to hear any little children going around going, "My daddy's got $4 billion, America." Yes. So I guess that leaves the table for Obama.
It was either going to be hit him in the nuts or hit Obama in the nuts with the ladder and tell why didn't you try harder.
Well, with Obama, you could put him through the table, and then everybody could actually blame him for something that he actually did, like break a table.
Oh, see? Damn it.
See? All right.
See, I see what happened there.
See?
All right, I got one.
He was actually responsible for something, the table break. You ever see the meme? Oh, let me just mention. The meme where where Obama's got the cookie, and he goes to dip the cookie in the milk, but the glass is too small, so the cookie doesn't fit, and he just looks at the camera and goes, "Thanks, Obama."
Yes.
I was like, thank you you're fucking awesome, Obama. I don't care about what, as a politician, that's just,
all right, man.
You take it on the chin.
Table, ladder, chair. Betty White, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg.
Whoa. Not my Betty.
Why not?
Because I love Betty White, okay? And I don't want to see her hurt in any way or fashion.
Well, by default, Betty can get the ladder because it's not going to hurt her.
All right. If by ladder you mean my penis, I'm down for that.
She's dead.
I mean,
dude.
Betty White is not dead.
Dude, we can substitute it.
All right.
Whoopi's got to take the chair. I'm over her.
Whoopi's got to take the chair.
Oprah through the table then?
Oprah through the table.
You get a table!
Yeah,
you get a table! You get a table!
This is what Oprah's gonna do. I mean, she would have used the chair because she would have had you reach underneath it to grab something. But if she goes through the table, she can still say, "Look under your seats," and everyone would still freak out.
Oh, yeah.
She'd do that like on Raw or something. She'd get 3D'd through a table. They'd clean everything up. Dudley Boys would take off. She'd roll over to a corner, somehow stand back up, grab a mic, somehow start sounding like Vince McMahon immediately, and then tell everyone to look under their chairs, under their seats. You're all fired.
Everybody gets a fucking pink slip.
Yep. Everyone's car is repoed.
No, that was fun. Before we finish this up here, most importantly, what events do you got coming up that we can get promoted out there for you?
Yes. I think my big one, personally, that I've got going on is I've got a show. I actually don't know if it's a show. It's called the Student Showcase. I've only heard of it once. It's in Salem. It's on July 28th. And I just got my order put in a couple days ago for my new tank tops. And they'll be coming in on the 27th. So that's a double whammy for me. So I get my shirts, shout out, get my shirts done at 50/50 Prints, who actually helped me finalize my logo, my sweet tee. I love that. I gotta make a drink now. Tonik, it's gotta be. Now I gotta have a sweet tea. I can have two now.
There you go.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Or we can make it into a beer.
Yes. Ooh.
Don't let him flatter himself, dude. It's not that good.
You've actually never tried it, okay? And everybody who has tried my beer has said it's wonderfully delicious. Thank you very much.
Because they don't want to hurt your feelings.
First of all, none of my friends have no problem hurting my feelings because all my friends are assholes. So that's a lie.
That's specifically why I haven't tried your beer yet.
Well, that's just because you're not worthy of my beer, sir.
Right.
You are not on the list of people who get beer when it's brewed.
The list.
Well, but my list, you want to be on my brew list. Thank you very much. Tech's on my brew list.
Hell yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm not going to lie.
I got to actually make it now because I have not done it in a while.
I don't want the first couple.
No, not like it's been,
I'm going to get it. It's going to be like a quarter beer. The rest of it's all head.
No. You won't have to worry about
Who poured this?
You saw that perfect.
You don't have to worry about that. Matt loves sucking head.
No.
To the table.
No. Can you put Joe through the table? I will pay you. But by table, I mean like a railroad spike.
I'll bump for the biz.
Oh, damn.
No, you're going through a railroad spike.
I mean, why do you always got to take it that far? I've never said once that I want to kill you. I
didn't
said I want to destroy your back through the table.
I didn't say you would have to die going through the railroad spike. I mean, it's.
Man, I just want you mortally wounded.
Well, not mortally, but you know.
You get a hold of Kevin Sullivan. He's got the golden spike.
Oh.
I mean, he's running Ring of Honor. I'm pretty sure.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
No. Didn't he go with Global Force when Jared got signed over?
I don't know.
That means I'd have to read some of those like articles that every fan writes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No, I feel the need to
put some filters on them.
I know everything about wrestling. Any other events?
Oh yes. I mean, I just had one going back to starting actually. On the 4th, we did a show in Corbett, and there were 10,000 people that went there.
Nice. That's a big show.
That's a huge show. I'm still sunburned from it because it was directly outside.
That's enough downloads to get me through a table right there.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
see?
So all those people, you know, you could have...
We got to get some t-shirts made.
Yeah, Gimmick Table t-shirts with me going through a table. That's what it should be.
We did that. We did the show in Corbett. That was actually a huge success. And again, huge thank you to my trainer, Cameron. He's getting me bookings in California. I'm booked in California in September at SPW, but I can guarantee I'll most likely have more bookings in California sooner than that.
Nice.
Because we've had California guys come up the last few weeks to come wrestle at BCW, and they've been awfully impressed with a few of us, and my name's been dropped a couple times.
Good for you, man.
So I'm really hoping to start filling booking spots in California because my long-term goal is going to be Lucha Underground, that would be my spot.
And we hope to see you there, man.
I'm a huge fan.
We really hope you because I've watched you, dude, and I'm gonna stroke your ego a little bit, but that's all I'm gonna stroke, sir.
Beer though.
You are very fun to watch. You definitely have a lot of the intangibles which is required to be a professional wrestler. You're very good at getting the crowd involved. You do a lot of stuff that makes me smile, and that's, for me, that's how I rate a match. How much can you make me smile and snicker when I see something that I like? And you can do that. I mean, and I'm no wrestling mark. I like to take the idea that I'm a fucking dude who watches wrestling in his fucking house and enjoys it, but I don't know shit about the business outside of the fact that I'm a fan of it, and I appreciate what you guys do.
I'm glad that you do that, and I wish millions more people would see it that way instead of trying to be all-knowing and pretend like they know everything.
You'll hurt your brain.
Yeah. I mean, the point is to escape your reality to enter theirs. Like, that's the job.
Right.
You need to be engulfed in what we're doing. You came to watch. You tuned in to watch. Allow yourself to watch.
It's all about the investment.
But I mean, again, some people get it, some people don't. Not everyone can pull people in and keep them. Like I was saying, we did a 20-minute match nonstop. People were on edge the whole time. Not everyone can do that kind of stuff. I mean, I haven't done it consistently since then. I lose fans all the time. But I have a way of bringing people back, even if it's here and there, here and there. I still manage to get them back, and I hope I keep doing that, because I know I try to watch people who do that too.
We hope you do too, man. And again, thank you for joining us here tonight. We have really enjoyed this conversation, and it has been an honor.
Yes, I've had a blast talking about myself.
Hey, but that's what we're here for. We want to make sure that people get to know you, and hopefully, we can help get you some more fans out there. Hopefully, they'll go on YouTube, watch your stuff, and like Joe said, we're gonna retweet your stuff. We're gonna get it out there any way that we can to help you. We're definitely gonna have you back on the show, because we would, maybe down the road, once we get a little bit more reach, we'll have you back on here again, and we'll talk about what you got going on, and we'll just do some more silly shit.
Yeah, I really look forward to that. I only use 2 forms of social media currently, and that's just Twitter and then my fan page on Facebook. About it. I'm not on it.
We're on Facebook now, and our sound guy is now our Facebook administrator, because I hate Facebook, but I will still give you the wonderful tweets that come from the Gimmick Table.
Yes.
I'll start using mine.
Yeah.
I'll actually start using my Twitter eventually. Stop waiting for like 37 notifications to load up on there before I go on there and start retweeting stuff.
He's just expanding our reach.
I'm just so against social media altogether.
It's different when you're using it to expand your reach than just,
Well, I was going to say, you better get over that, or you're not going to go anywhere doing this.
Nobody's going to know about the podcast.
I mean, that's why I have a Matt.
Well, you don't have it.
Aren't you also doing
I'm like the Brock Lesnar to his Paul Heyman.
No,
he's my Jew.
Except I'm Italian, Russian mutt.
That looks like a Jew.
No, I have a Roman nose. It roams all over my face. And I'm not your Paul Heyman, because technically you work for me.
You're the mouth.
No.
You're the mouth. I'm the muscle.
Well, no,
I don't have to talk.
I technically consider myself the muscle too in this situation.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like Atlas.
You haven't seen actual pictures, have you?
I consider myself the Atlas of the Gimmick Table world. All right, just holding everything up like this, and then Cade's sitting there tickling my butthole.
Is it? It's more like eating.
Well, that I didn't. He doesn't.
Like eating.
He doesn't actually tickle my butthole. It's more like a analogy for moral support. I think.
Oh, is that what that was? I didn't get that.
Yeah, that's what he likes to call it, moral support.
Analogies for moral support. Oh.
No, I've had a tremendous amount of fun, like following you guys, retweeting, and all that kind of stuff. It's been a blast.
And we appreciate it so much, and we're going to continue to show you how much we appreciate it by getting all that stuff out there. We're going to have you back on the show, and just let us know what we can do for you. We'll do it.
Fantastic.
All right, guys, and that's going to do it for the Gimmick Table today. Thank you for joining us. Episode 3 coming at you, available now. Have a good day wherever you are.